Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the daily reading for the 24th of April 2017. How are you all? It's mad. I've only been away a week. It does seem like longer, and by some of the messages I've been getting off using me, you've probably been thinking that as well. I'm putting these videos out on the Sunday. When I'm back to work on Monday, I will reply to everybody's messages. But when I said beforehand that it was a break. So like I say, I haven't been working in that sense. I have been working. There's been a lot going on, so the holiday wasn't really a holiday. Every day was filled up, but I did manage to have a few days where it was love, laughter, life. That was it. So I done some catching up with people, and it was just nice. It was nice and relaxing. So yes, everybody who's been asking if I've enjoyed myself, I really really have. Like I say, a few changes, few ideas about things that's going to happen with this, and I've changed the website as well. So if you want to take a look over to that, I think it should be easier to navigate. I have had to put some terms and conditions on there. This is to cover my back so that everybody is aware of what happens, when you're getting a reading and things like that, so there's a couple of little healthy boundaries in there. The only reason they are there is because every solitary thing that is in there is something that has cropped up, in the past few months. So this is to help you and to help me and to make our connection run a lot smoother. Okay, so I'm not just sort of ruling with an iron fist. It's, I do have to be sort of quite strict now with things because like boundaries have been crossed and stuff. So right, okay, so I'm going back to the reading, but I'm dying to connect with everybody again. It's like I say, I have missed you. It was really weird, my phone being quite quiet for a bit as well. So the cards today, what a strange feeling with them. I was hoping I was going to come back and something was going to be like all nice and happy and all of that, but like I say, I've got to give out what I'm getting. The first card that I pulled, well, it actually jumped out of the deck when I started shuffling, is the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups is about disillusionment, disappointment. It's sort of a little bit like meh. That's what it's like. That's the Four of Cups. I mean, cups are all about emotions, so this is connected with emotions, I feel. And it's talking about facing your emotions, and I really feel, I mean, that is like a well that she's over there, and this is about delving deeper into your emotions. So I feel that could be the vibe for the week, the theme for the week, so to speak. We do have a new moon on Wednesday, I think it is. I'm not sure of the date, but around the moon there's always things brought up, things that have been hidden. And this card, I really don't like it. I mean, I'm using the Tarot Apocalypsis again, and these are very special cards and they go very deep, but there's so many things coming to me with this card, and I'm going to try and do it in the easiest way possible and just say whatever comes out. So this is saying, within our emotions, we're all very happy to feel love, we're very happy to feel affection, we're very happy to feel devotion and stuff like that. But what about when we feel empty? This is what this is talking. It's talking about an emptiness. It's talking about when we sort of get to the point where we just give up and we think, what's the point? This is it. When we are emotionless, when there's no emotions there because they've either been quashed or quelled or bound in some way, so that we can't feel them. So this is not a nice feeling. And when I'm looking at this card, what I don't look, I do feel like it's love is absent. This is what I'm saying. Love is not there. Now, this love is our birthright, it's within all of us. And when that isn't there, if you think children that are starved of affection when they are young, that actually sort of shapes them into how they will be as adults, animals who are, starved of affection, our life is meant to be a sort of a series of connecting with people, about feeling people, about feeling our emotions, feeling compassion, feeling empathy. Now, this has reminded me, I don't know if any of you that watch this watched my San Pedro experience that I done a couple of months ago, where during the ceremony, I got this complete feeling of nothing. So I wasn't even feeling, and it was so bizarre to me, and it was very frightening, you know, to actually feel nothing, you know, because I feel very deeply anyway. So this is what I'm getting with this card, okay? And it's like, cups in tarot are all about emotions, you know, and stuff like that. And it's like within this, I feel the water isn't flowing. The water has gone stagnant. I don't know which card it was. One of the monthly readings for this, for May, I kept seeing gutters. This has just come back here. I really don't know, because when I do the 12 monthlies, I never know which one is which. But yeah, it's gutters, like dirty water. And this is what I'm getting. The water has gone like stagnant, you know. It's not cool. And this is signifying the emotions. So it's like something that was once there is now no longer there, or it's out of your grasp in some way. You know, this is really strange. But what this is doing, because this water is stagnant, and because there's this feeling of, you know, just whatever, I feel it is making you face up to the truth, or the truths they're saying there, okay? So it's like I say, there's a boredom, there's a stuck in a rut, you know, it's like Groundhog Day. Every day is the same. The passion is gone, the excitement is gone, the projection to the future has gone, the life within you, this is what it's saying, you know, for some reason seems to have been like, just, you know, your life source seems to have been cut off. That's what I'm getting here. Now, what I don't like about this card, right, and please forgive me before I say this, I'm not saying this is what's going on. I'm actually explaining what this card is saying, okay? So within this card, when I'm looking at it, the first thing I'm seeing is this seems to be like some cold tower, okay? Now, the words that were coming to me there is, you no longer have the power, you are locked in the tower. Don't know what that has come from. But we see this person sitting here, and I don't know if you can see her face, because she doesn't look happy. She looks pretty mean, to be honest. Now, in the background, there's this beautiful cup, but it seems to be sort of, it's away. Now, this little village that I can see here, this looks idyllic. It looks lovely, you know. And it's sort of, I'm getting, you know, like, it's sort of the Italian, and it's, you know, it's all really, really nice there. But this cold tower is where the focus is. Now, this is why I'm going to say why I don't like these cards. So this person is looking, you know, at these cups. So these are the cups that are there. They are there with them. But they are not seeing this cup, this other offer, this sort of like chance to get out of there, this chance to have this, you know, this simplistic, rustic, rural life. This is what I'm saying, where wine and song and olives and, you know, this is what I'm seeing here. And right, okay, I'm right. That's why they're giving me this now. I don't know if this is... Right, what's the song, Amore, when the moon hits the... I can't remember the words, but this is what they're singing to me. So, right, that's love. So, what I'm saying is love is not present, okay? So, the love is out there in this other cup, but the focus isn't on that. The focus isn't on that. And that is sort of, you know, if we have a look at the light that's shining around that, and then we've got them other dull cups. Now, within this card, what the person is holding there, I don't know if you can see them very well on this camera, but there's a figure here, and it's a figure with a needle stuck through it. So it's a spell casting. You know, when you get voodoo dolls and things like that, you know, and amulets, and, you know, where people used to cast on them. And this, what is held in the other hand, is a curse tablet. Now, this was what they used to do in the olden times with these was they would write a curse into the lead. It was always made of lead, you know, and it was often used to bind people. So it was used to bind an enemy. Now, curses and things like that, I'm not talking about them. I'm not saying that they're on now, you know, but what I'm saying is harsh words. I've said this so many times before. Whatever we say is a spell, you know. Our words are spells. Now, these can be positive and loving when we keep our words like this. When we say negative things, they're not good, and this can affect another person, and this can affect another person's being, their way of life, their thinking and stuff like that. So this is why I always say be very, very careful with your words. Now, within these curse tablets, it was often used within sort of where emotions and love was present to try and take that away. You know, so they would bind another person emotionally. So say somebody wanted to be in love with somebody else and they spurned their advances and they were in love with another person. The person who was rejected or, you know, rebuked or whatever would do one of these curse tablets in order to stop the other person from actually feeling emotions, so that they, you know, then they couldn't. It's like sort of if I'm not going to have you, then nobody else is, you know. And this is it's like it would stop them from feeling desire. It would stop them from feeling love, you know, to anybody apart from the caster, the person that was casting this spell. So it sort of made them their slave. You know, I mean, this is all very macabre, isn't it? You know, macabre and Macbeth, actually. Yeah, we've got the three witches there. So I'm not saying that this is happening, but what I'm saying is, you know, that if you are feeling this lack of love, if you are feeling this boredom, this disillusionment with life, this whatever, you know, this sort of, you know, what even is the point? Feeling this belief that, you know, the world is not a nice place and there isn't love there, and, you know, and feeling this emptiness that we started off with within these cards, you know, and the flow of your heart or water is stopped, then this is saying, I feel, really look at areas of why. Delve deep into this. This is going deep into this well. What has been said to you, you know, that has done this? What has happened to you that has done this? You know, look at areas why you have cut off this supply. Now, like I say, this figurine with the nail through it, it's not very nice at all. Now, I went last year to a witchcraft museum in Cornwall, which was amazing. It was so macabre. It was like, wow. And this reminded me, They had a lot of things on show there, and they had a lot of voodoo dolls and stuff like that. It was really, really bizarre, you know, some of the stuff that that went on there, some of the dark stuff as well, you know, because pure witchcraft is not dark, you know, it's not, it's pure. And, you know, a real witch, as I've said before, knows that whatever they put out will come back to them. So that's why they make it pure and nice. But there was this one thing that came into my mind when I looked at this, and there was a photograph that had been found behind a filing cabinet of an office, and it was a photograph of a woman sitting, and there was pins stuck in the back of it, loads of pins actually stuck in the back of it. So somebody, and this was quite modern day because it was a photograph, this wasn't way back, somebody had actually used that photograph of somebody to sort of project a negative force on, or a negative, you know, whatever, in order for some way to stop that person by being what they were meant to be. Right, okay, this is going really off tangent. I wished it was more of a simple reading. So again, this is saying, you know, anything that is said or done with a negative intent can actually affect the person that it's geared towards. This is why you should always have protection of some sort, you know. So like I say, you know, life without love does not exist. It doesn't. And if you are feeling like this, if you are feeling this boredom, if you're feeling this lack of love, delve deep, see why you feel that you need to feel this, and actually break that curse. You know, it's not a curse. It's not, I'm not going on about witchcraft, but break that belief, you know. And like I say, if it's somebody else's that it's said to you, you know, break that, you know, you believe, you know. So it's like when we don't have love in our life and when we stop the flow, what happens is this causes emotional turmoil, which causes discontent within us, you know. And this is what we need, love, in order to flourish. It's who we are. It's what we were sent on this earth to experience, you know. And without that, we will not bloom. And this is it. So it's a time of cleansing. It's a time to get that water crystal clear again. You know, like we're not having the muddiness. We're not having the murkiness in that water. We're actually having it crystal clear, pure water, like what we have in the star card, you know. So what this is saying is, if you are feeling this apathy, if you are feeling this, do you know what I mean, that's, you know, not feeling the love in some way, try to have salt baths. Salt baths are very, very cleansing for you, but they can also rid you of negativity. If you are in a shower, imagine when you're in the shower, imagine the water coming down as white light. See it wash over you and let it take whatever is there and let it go down the plug hole and get rid of it. And the best thing, if you are feeling this, you know, is, I mean, they say it's the best thing to break hexes and stuff like that, is positivity. You know, let laughter into your life. As I've said, you know, I've had this week off and it was, you know, I was living, I was laughing, I was loving, you know, that's what I was doing. And, you know, this is saying, if you get them three into your life, if you fill your cups up with them, then you will not have this feeling anymore, you know. So it's like, you know, make sure you laugh every day, make sure you love every day, and make sure you live every single day. Because being out there in this, you know, we can see even it's got like a golden light around it, is much better than being trapped in this tower of coldness, because nobody actually wants to be there, you know. So sorry, I wasn't realizing where that was going, but that is yeah, it's step up. This is it, you know, step up to the mark. Now we've got the Osho card here, and this is the Eight of Clouds, and this isn't a nice card either, and this is a card of guilt. And if we look, we've got the three fingers again, you know, like I mentioned, the witches, the Macbeth. And what this is saying, this is a dark place to be, like what the Four of Cups is. But again, guilt, when we're looking at guilt can rob us of the joy of our everyday life, you know. So if we live with it on a daily basis, it can cause a lot of damage to us. It can cause damage to our self-confidence, you know. We aren't even allowed to give our self-love when we are feeling guilty, you know. We don't allow that, you know. But what we need to do is we need to practice self-love, we need to practice forgiveness, and we need to practice compassion. This is not just to other people, this is to ourselves, you know. So what you need to do as well, this is all about delving deep. If you are feeling guilty for something, you know, my poor Nana, she felt guilty for something that happened when she was 17, and she died when she was like 89, and she only came out about it when she was like 87-year-old, and she'd lived with that all of her life, you know. And it was as soon as she came out with it and it was said and she knew there was no judgment or nothing there, it was like, I've actually kept myself in this tower where I felt I didn't deserve happiness and I didn't deserve love, and I felt I was needed to be punished, you know. So this card, this is what it's saying, you know. Have a look at these feelings of guilt if you are feeling them. Where are they coming from? Are they your feelings? Are they stuff that you've been told? What do you really feel that you've done that bad that you need to be in a place where you are punished continuously, you know? This is not cool, you know. We need to practice forgiveness on a daily basis. One of the best things to do is, if somebody has hurt you, or if you feel you've hurt somebody, is the Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian sort of it's the opposite of a curse, really. It's sort of more of a blessing. And it's very, very simple to do. You know, if you Google it, it will be there. And it basically, it's around the words of, you know, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I love you, thank you. You know, that is it. Because you're practicing compassion, you're practicing love, and you're practicing self-love when you do the Ho'oponopono for yourself as well. So, like I say, at the moment it's like clawing, it's horrible, it's an ugly, ugly card, that, you know, because guilt is an ugly emotion as well. Nothing beautiful can ever stem from that, not at all, you know. But this is where the person in here is like trapped in their own dark cloud. You know, nobody can make you feel guilty without your consent. You know, they can't. So when you rise above it, look at that. You know, we see the blossom. You know, we see the strength. We see the sort of, I mean, there it's got the violet and it's got the indigo. So this is about your third eye and your crown chakra. So this is your inner knowing, you know, and your inner seeing. And this is it. When you see things clearly and you get out of this guilt fog, you know, that is when you will get rid of this boredom, this disillusionment, and this loveless place where, you know, this is saying that you're inhabiting. Now, we also, with the Colette Baron Reid card, we have Serendipity, which is upside down. And this is again, it's talking about belief. When it's that way up, there's the four-leaf clover, there's the belief in serendipity, the belief in synchronicity, there's the belief that the universe is showing you all of the signs that you need. When it's this way, it's saying that the belief's gone, you know, the belief is gone. You're not believing, you know, you don't feel lucky, or you don't feel that you deserve to be lucky. You know, this is it. It is the birthright of everybody. You know, none of you are Pol Pot. None of you are Hitler that are watching this, you know, so you haven't done any massive crimes to humanity. So whatever it is that you are feeling guilty for, you know, know that, you know, it might have been something you've done. Forgive yourself. You know, address it, look at it, right, okay, I maybe could have done something different there. The Tibetans don't even have a word for guilt. You know, they use regret rather than that, because you can change your future actions when you look back at the past and, you know, see something that you regret, or the way that you've done something is in a way that you regret, you know, so you learn from that. With guilt, you don't. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you feeling like this, and it keeps you just feeling pretty damn shitty. It stops you from living. It takes the joy out of life. So what this is saying is believe again, you know, believe again. You've got to believe. Once you have belief, this is when your life will change. You know, find your faith, find your belief again. Roald Dahl said, those that don't believe in magic will never find it. And that is true, you know. Whatever you believe, you can manifest, you know. So it's like, you know, when you believe it, that's when you'll see it. So if you believe that you are a bad person, you know, then that is what you will get. And other people will treat you in that way. You know, it's like, you say, get this growing up, you know, if you tell a dog they're a bad dog, they'll eventually believe it, you know, but no dog is bad. You know, a dog will only attack or whatever because of their upbringing or because of fear. You know, it's like people, none of us are born bad. We are product of, you know, the conditions that we've been brought up in. Like I say, when we've been brought up without this love, you know, when we're children, we usually find that they are then dysfunctional adults in some way, you know. So this is it. Nobody is born bad, you know. And like I say, you know, you haven't caused a world war or nothing like that. So, you know, forgive yourself. You have permission. So then we have this. I'm so pleased we've ended on a positive one, because it's like, you know, first day back, I wanted something all upbeat and lovely. But this one, again, like I say, we've had this card before, and I always say this reminds me of Che Guevara. You know, one man's freedom fighter is another man's anarchist, you know, or activist or whatever. You know, it's what some people think is wrong is the right thing for other people, you know. And this is what I'm getting. There's a solidness coming within this, you know, there's a lovely, it's like, right, okay, stand in your power, you know, there's a groundedness, there's a security as well. Because if we look at these, they're not very pleasant coloured cards, whereas this is like, wow, okay, the passion's back, the fight is back, the personal power is back. And what this card says is stand up for what you believe in, regardless of the consequences. Speak your truth no matter what others may think. It's time to stand in your own power for all the world to see. So this is up. It's rising up from this place of boredom and meh. You know, it's getting rid of any guilt that you have inflicted on yourself or somebody else has inflicted on you. It's getting your belief back so that you realize, you know, you were born to be lucky, you know, and you were born to thrive. And it's speaking up and it's speaking your truth, you know. So I hope that made sense to some of you. It's like, whoa, you know, I was not expecting that today at all, you know, but there you go. You know, they have had a week off and they work me like a trooper every time, every single time they do this. I take a little bit time off. They always, you know, come back, and it's hard work, you know. But I hope that made sense to some of you. Hopefully tomorrow the cards are a little bit nicer. But yeah, you know, life is what you make it, and if you believe in something, you know, it will be true. Now, that goes both ways as well, so remember that, you know. If you believe the world is this dark, loveless, nasty place, that's what it will be to you. If you believe it is full of light and love and laughter and, you know, nice people and things like that, then that's what you will get as well, you know. So whatever you believe comes to you. So, if anybody would like a reading, please get in touch. If you go to my website, the link is below. Like I say, the website's all new. Please let me know if you like it as well, because it's just sort of, you know, I was just trying stuff out. It's a little bit different, but, you know, I would love your views on them. Whether they're good or whether they're bad, you know, I really would appreciate the feedback on them as well, you know, and let me know what you think. And if you want a reading, just go there and I can book you in. But it's great to be back. Sorry it wasn't on a happier note, but there's always a method in their madness, I think, you know. So there was, yeah, I think there was a message that needed to come through there. Okay, so have an absolutely fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow with the cards of today. Sat Nam.